Good morning, everybody. This is Kim at Uncensored Food, and welcome to my kitchen on a rainy, gloomy, stupid day. Back in the 1940s, my father was in medical school, and he made a lifelong friend there named Dr. Vacco. Dr. Vacco was my father's best man at his wedding, and vice versa. When my parents got married, I don't know who was first, but they were tight. So they went on to have 6 children, as well as my parents having 6 children. However, they had 2 boys. The nerve. I don't know how we allowed that to happen, where we had all girls. So Dr. Vacco passed away several years ago. We've been lifelong friends with his kids and grandkids and everything else. And just the other day, we lost Connie Vacco, the mother. As sweet as can be lady, absolutely wonderful. Went to her funeral yesterday or the day before, and she had the coolest thing. On the back of her little mass card thing here, hello, Jesus, and here we go. She put her recipe for her Italian meat sauce. So I thought, what better way to honor her but to make her delicious meat sauce, which is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So today we're gonna make Connie Vacco's meat sauce, and we're gonna serve it over Barilla large shells. I like this brand of store-bought pasta the best. Why? Because I do. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna start with 1 carrot, 1 small onion, 1 stick of celery diced small. Over here we're gonna turn on the pot and get that started. Oops, I should have been ready for you. To that, we're gonna add a half a pound of ground beef, a half a pound of ground things. Her recipe does not include garlic, and I'm thinking, Connie, what the actual fuck were you thinking? You gotta have garlic in this. So I'm gonna add 1 giant garlic. So we're gonna start by chopping this, which I forgot to chop before I turned on the camera. And no, this isn't for you. I'll give you some when we're done. And we are going to take the carrot, the onion, the celery, and we're gonna cook these down. 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll do the garlic. About olive oil and butter together. I'm gonna saute this down to nothing. You use olive oil together with butter because of the low burn and the no smoke and the science. Go figure it out. Connie did it, so that's what I'm gonna do. As soon as this cooks down, I'll show you what happens. Okay, this is cooking down beautifully. It's not cooked yet, but it is wonderfully translucent. Can you see that? No, you can't see that. I'm not gonna pick it up. I'm not falling for that. Now we're gonna add half a pound, half a pound, half a pound of these delicious meats and cook these down, break them up and cook these down until they're no longer pink. And then we'll move on from there. Doesn't everybody cook in sequence? If you don't, you should be. We're almost done with the meats cooking down. And now in true Italian fashion, you know, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. If you have, I added more meat because it's called meat sauce. I understand, Connie, but I added more meat because I had it, and you know, what am I sticking around? She calls for then 1 giant can, 28 ounce of diced, what are these? Roma tomatoes. I decided to use a small can of tomatoes and then about 6 fresh ones that I'm dicing right now. These will go in shortly, but first, we're going to add about a cup of mushrooms. Again, Connie called for the rehydrated mushrooms. I prefer the fresh, so she would forgive me. Connie, please don't strike me now. This is all good. This is for you, girl. Add the diced mushrooms to this. And then we're going to add that's cooking beautifully. The next thing to add is about a cup or so of red wine, and it's a or so thing. So a cup of red wine is this much. I added more meat. Get that in. Now this alcohol is going to cook off, and as soon as a lot of this evaporates or cooks into the food, we're going to add the last of the ingredients. Then I gotta wait. I don't know where I left off because I got a phone call, but The mushrooms are in there, the meat is in there, the vegetables are in there, and like all Italian cooking, if you want to add a little more of this or a little bit of that, do it. There is absolutely nothing stopping you from that. Once that cooks down, we'll finish with these last few ingredients, and then I gotta sit around for an hour and wait for it to cook. Stand by. Okay, folks, this has nearly all evaporated. The wine has nearly all evaporated. So now the last of what we're gonna put in is 2 13-ounce cans of beef broth or vegetable, which makes like 28, whatever. I used vegetable broth because I just prefer it. We're going to add 1 small can of diced tomatoes. Oh shit. Missed. And 6 coarsely chopped plum tomatoes and 2 teaspoons of, that's about right, tomato paste. We're going to mix this all together, and we're going to put this back on the stove and keep it on a low simmer for about an hour. You want to do this so uncovered if possible is the best way, so that it allows itself to thicken. That's kind of important. About a half an hour before it becomes sauce, put on a big pot of boiling water and cook a pound of your favorite pasta. I like the big shells because it holds onto the sauce. It's way cool. Now I have to be patient for about an hour, and then I'll come back and finish. Well, it was worth the wait. Here is the absolute payoff. This gorgeous meat sauce. This is my new favorite pasta sauce. When you're choosing pasta for something like this is a meal in itself. Choose something that's gonna hold that sauce. That's why I chose the shells, cooked al dente. And the changes that I made to Connie's recipe were I added at least twice as much of the tomato paste because I wanted it thicker, and a little bit more salt. You can do anything. This is the beauty of Italian cooking. You add until you're happy with what you got. So we'll spoon that over the shells, and then the pièce de résistance, no, that's French, please forgive me, is the ricotta salata. When we were kids, this was called dried ricotta. We were addicted to this. We'd fight over it. My goodness. So Connie, this was such a cool thing that she did to share her most delicious red sauce, meat sauce with all of us. I honor you in making this, and you honor us in giving it to us. And it's going to be one of the best things you've ever eaten or made. With loving hands. Thank you, Mrs. Vacco. Thank you for the gift of your presence in our life, and especially for this. This is Kim at Uncensored Food. See ya.